All right, in this compound, how many hydrogens are there? How many nitrogens are there? How many oxygens are there? How many NO3s combined are there? Okay, or just how many NO3s are there if I have 5 of the whole compound? Let's start with the hydrogen. With the hydrogen, you'll notice that there is the 5, which applies to the whole thing, and then there's a 2, which applies only to the hydrogen. So you're going to say 5 times 2 gives you your answer. For the nitrogen, okay, the nitrogen is inside of the parentheses, so you're going to have to multiply the number that's outside of the parentheses, okay? The 2, since there's 5 of the whole thing, so we have the whole thing 5 times, you're always going to still multiply by 5. And then the nitrogen has no number beside it, so you assume that there's a 1, and so you multiply by 1, okay? And just like this gives you your answer for hydrogen, this gives you your answer for nitrogen. For oxygen, we have 3, but then we have 2 of everything in the parentheses, so we have to multiply by 2. And again, we have the whole thing 5 times, so we multiply by 5. And that will give us oxygen, okay? For NO3s, okay, we have everything in here twice, so we have 2 NO3s in each compound, and again, we have 5 of the whole compound, so we still multiply by 5. That gives us the answer for NO3. All right, let's take a step back. How are we going to do it here? All right, here for hydrogen, okay, we have 5 of the whole compound, so we take the 5. There is no number by the hydrogen, so we multiply by 1, and we leave it at that. There is no parentheses around it, so we will not multiply by a parentheses. For the nitrogen, there is no number, so there's an imaginary 1. It's inside of the parentheses that has a 2, so we multiply by a 2. And then again, the whole thing we have 5 times, so we multiply by 5 again. And that will get us our answer here for nitrogen. For the oxygen, there are 3 in each, and then there are 2 of the parentheses, so then we multiply by 2. And then again, there's 5 of the whole compound, so we multiply by 5. That will get us our answer for oxygen. How many NO3s do we have? Well, we have 2 of everything in the parentheses, so 2 to start off with. And we have 5 of the whole compound once again, so again we multiply by 5. That gets us our question mark here. All right, let's do 2 more examples. For this one, I'm only going to go over the hydrogen. For this situation, there is a 2 on each of the compounds for hydrogen, and then there are 5 of the compounds, so we multiply by 5, and that gets us our answer. To know how to get the N, the O, or the NO3, it works the same as it does over here. You can do that from scratch, and check with me if you want. All right, last but not least, what happens in this situation for hydrogen? What happens in this situation for nitrogen and oxygen? In this situation, there are no parentheses, so I'm just going to multiply by 2 numbers for each one. I'm going to multiply by 5 for all of them, okay? The 5 applies to all of them, always. Anything in front, that's the coefficient, it always applies to all of them. So I'm multiplying by 5 on all of them. Notice that there is no number with the hydrogen for the subscript, so we multiply by 1. Same thing for the nitrogen, so we multiply by 1. There is a number for the oxygen, and it is 3, so we multiply by 3. That will get us our answer. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. The end.